Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with their daily crypto news and analysis, and I hope everybody is having a beautiful Friday. Today we're going to be addressing Casper, or the Casper network in general. There's a lot of things to talk about, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course, I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, with that being said, let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So, as we are seeing, Bitcoin kind of bounce back, which is expected. Dips will be shallow during, Bitcoin season. We've been addressing that. We are seeing a lot of altcoins starting to make their, major rallies. Now, of course, on the 7-day span, you guys do see ZIL still holding the #1 spot. But ultimately, we are still seeing some nice flows into some of these major assets, like, for an example, synthetics. I just mentioned that the other day. But ultimately, we will continue to see money flow throughout this entire market greatly. And of course, I'm going to be watching things rapidly unfold within a lot of my altcoin holdings, specifically even Casper. Now, I did do a little bit of a tweet today comparing Casper to ZIL. I honestly think that these two charts are very similar. We're going to be addressing it and really kind of talking about it. This does have a lot of price movement left in it. I have been kind of, watching Casper really kind of build out their ecosystem as I have been making videos on it. I think ultimately when we're talking about Casper, similar to ZIL, similar to any other altcoin, it's really kind of setting the stage for the next major move up. And we're going to be addressing the price chart in this video, and then we're going to be addressing some price action. But first, I do want to talk to you guys about a few things that are coming to, Casper. But first, we are moving up the rankings. Current top 10 coins by alt rank. We do see Solana, ZIL, etc., but we do see Casper making a spotlight at number 9. This is pretty significant when you are talking about a little bit of a spotlight put on Casper. Casper has been overlooked by many. It's been, an asset that actually hasn't gotten a lot of mention on Twitter, not even on Twitter, but also even YouTube. Like, not a lot of people are actually talking about Casper. So shout out to those individuals that are, continuously doing videos on it, talking about it, addressing it, really giving you guys those updates, because honestly, not a lot of people know about Casper still. So, when we are talking about things like DeFi coming to Casper, I definitely think that we should all be looking at it. I think that when we're talking about Casper on that nice little dip that we just recently had, so let's go back to the 3-month span. So during this time here, everyone was kind of scared to buy it, but ultimately this was the best time to buy it because, this is going back to March 15th. We're already almost at a 2x from those levels. So again, whenever somebody is not talking about something, or whenever the sentiment kind of switches up a little bit from bullish to bearish, when everyone's fearful, that's when you should be greedy. And DeFi is coming to Casper. This will be absolutely massive. I've told you guys so many times about DeFi, and we're now finally seeing it. And in fact, we do see 75.9% of stake has stage 1.4.5. Activation is Monday morning. It means that 1.4.5 is a go. Then DeFi will launch shortly after. So on Monday is when we will see this update go live. And then we will see DeFi coming to Casper very, very soon. So I'm watching this greatly. We know that Casper is a beautiful Web3 gem. We know that they have a lot of enterprise, solutions and NFTs and stuff like that coming to the ecosystem. But DeFi should definitely be a focus area for a lot of these major assets, because this is a massive area to, specifically focus on. Billions of dollars within this ecosystem as well. Like, even in terms of the top 100, like, most of these already have like $1 billion market cap. I mean, number 99 to 100, well, this is like 103, but for the most part, this is like a $1 billion plus market cap area where, most of this is, of course, a 171.2, almost $3 billion market cap. So again, this is a massive area to really focus on. And I'm very excited for Casper to make its, next major stride within that area. And of course, let's talk about, DeFi in general and what is the, really happening within the Casper ecosystem. So shout out to Rec Wojak here, but listen closely to this, guys.
And you've seen like the Metacast stuff. You've seen some of the NFT stuff starting to launch. Those things are great. Not what I'm most interested in. It's the DeFi primitives, man. Like once you start having TVL in this thing, we've got great modeling and paths to bringing in the first 100 million, then the first 500 million TVL, and once you have the ability to trade. Now you've got a bunch of stable assets. I will mention, we're working with Frax. We're going to bring a native Frax onto the network. So Frax is an algorithmic-based stable asset. There will be plenty of bridged stable assets. So you're going to have a handful of bridge stable assets from the Ethereum network that are going to come on stably, and a bunch of other bridges are bringing those assets over. Those things will be incentivized. You incentivize the pairs on the stable assets on the swaps to build TVL and to create some liquidity for other assets that'll be on the Casper side. Yeah, it's going to be fun. There's a couple interesting things. There's a friendly market. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about. That's one of the ones that I'm really appreciative of. The gentleman Yassine who built that is absolutely brilliant. He had formerly worked with one of my favorite security auditing firms in the entire industry, and so he's building a really great product. And then also Casper Swap. Casper Swap is going to be a fantastic project. I've seen that grow from my ideation and through code review, and we've been a part of helping fund that. So it's amazing engineering, amazing project. So that will be launching. I think these things are all, if they're not here and really fully implemented with bridges and some activity within 6 weeks, I'd be really, really surprised. So DeFi.
And DeFi is the focus area, guys. The thing about DeFi is that specifically this area is a major spotlighted area from not only institutional investors, enterprise investors, and not only that, but the retail investor could also really greatly benefit from DeFi in general being on these networks. I mean, staking and things like that do increase in value and stuff like that. So, this is going to be something very interesting and very cool. And also, just so you guys, know that Casper also is, celebrating their 1-year anniversary. And, 1 year ago, the Casper network launched, and ever since, it's just been massive growth. We do see by 2025, enterprises are expected to generate more than $1.5 trillion in value from blockchain apps, a figure expected to double to $3 trillion by 2030 alone. Many of these businesses have requirements around security and deployments that other chains don't currently support. Enter Casper, some raw stats: 16,000 unique delegators, 70,000 plus active accounts, 480,000 plus contract deploys, and 385,000 plus native Casper transfers, 180 community validators competing for 100 slots. The growth of Casper has been absolutely massive. And I'm very excited, to say the least, to watch Casper really grow over the next couple, weeks to months and even years. I'm going to be hodling Casper for a very long time. Of course, yes, will I sell? 100%, but I'm still going to be hodling a significant amount for the evident future. Now, this is not the only thing that I want to really capitalize within the Casper ecosystem that is happening. The roadmap has been officially released for Casper. Again, shout out to Wojak for this, but are you ready and excited for 2022? Casper Network updates roadmap for the next month's looking good. 4th of April, it's the beginning. And here we have it. So check this out. So here's 1.4.5 vulnerability fixes. 4th of April launch on the mainnet, already available on the integration network for smart contracts developers. Bridges DeFi launches afterwards, version 1.5, fast synchronization of validators. And this continues on and on and on in terms of massive innovations within the network itself to really kind of further support not only development, but dApps, DeFi, enterprise use cases and things like that. Like, honestly, when we're talking about the future of Casper, guys, we are on the ground floor level in terms of price action, but also the future. And in terms of things that are being built on Casper, we are seeing NFTs officially launching from significant use cases. Civic Key. We've partnered with Casper Labs and Casper Network to give dApps the ability to meet permissioning requirements. Metacast, the first to showcase the integration, and their Whiskey NFT marketplace is now live. Check it out on their blog. And guys, we have been waiting for this. Tokenized, Whiskey cask sales. This is pretty significant. And of course, Metacast themselves did further announce this. Exciting news, the Whiskey NFT marketplace is now live. Huge shout out to Casper Labs, Casper Network, and Civic Key for helping us get there. NFT marketplace on the Casper blockchain, on-chain know your customer using Civic Pass. Auctions conducted in Casper. First auctions from the 5th of April. All of this is happening this month, guys. I'm so excited for April. I've been telling you guys that this is a significant month, and things are unfolding greatly, especially within the altcoin market. Now, let's talk about price. So, of course, I know all of you are probably sitting there wondering, what is the price of Casper? What is going to be the price of, this at like its all-time highs and stuff? Well, let's talk about this. So first off, in terms of the recent breakout event today, looks like we are gaining some traction on the 236 fib level to find some support there. RSI looks a little bit oversold. It doesn't hurt at all in terms of the RSI to be around this level. Currently, it's all right. I do want to see more volume in, though, to really see if this is going to be a sustainable move, though. We really want to break above that 12-cent zone. More so, of course, that 200-day EMA. But really breaking over that 12.5-cent zone will give us a lot more strength and really put us back in that demand zone before we went to 24 almost cents. Now, I really do think that the 4618 is where we will breach out to, which is 91 cents. But ultimately, this dollar range is where I'm really kind of watching Casper greatly. I do think that this could go even higher. I mean, I'm not going to say that this can't. I'm just saying in terms of ZIL, right? Like, ZIL's outreach of the 4618 is that $1.10 zone almost. At $1.10, so first off, let's go to ZIL real quick. At $1.10, we are looking at, a market cap of $15.5 billion. Casper at $15.5 billion in market cap would take it to $3.52. Casper has such a massive opportunity in store for it in terms of where we are really starting this move at compared to ZIL. And I'm not saying that ZIL's not a great, price move yet. I'm just saying when we are talking about Zilliqa and we're talking about the current move on it, so we're talking about ZIL at roughly 20 some cents. So, right now, even at 20 cents, and Casper, if we were, at the current level of ZIL, we would be at 64 cents currently. So think about how crazy the move on Casper could really become if we could break out of this, all-time, or I shouldn't even say all-time high, but the recent high to really kind of go to a new possible all-time high and really go into that massive price discovery. So I'm really watching Casper, currently when we are talking about the, current price chart. Because we are really back into that sort of, price range that Zillow was at as well. I mean, ZIL started to have this breakout event, trade a sideways, breakout event again, currently trading sideways, and this next major move on ZIL will most likely break out of the all-time high. Similar structure as Casper. I mean, we have this breakout event, sideways trading, breakout event, sideways trading. Our next major breakout event will most likely be within this month, maybe even this week coming up, to really kind of push us up above significant levels and really go on that nice tear to the all-time high. So I'm watching this closely. I did do an update on my Twitter today, kind of comparing and contrasting these two in terms of their charts. And I've said, Casper currently ranging on support following its breakout today in anticipation for this month's announcements. Next targets are 12.5 cents. If we fail to sustain this move, a retest of 8.5 cents is likely. I believe we are following the same path as ZIL, i.e. recent high retest. And we do see, what is the 4236 fib outreaches. What the 4236, that's, a little bit higher than, of course, where we are really kind of watching for, but the 4236 would be at about 84 cents. I'm really kind of ranging a little bit higher than that, though. I'm looking at, I've always said Casper could reach even higher levels. I mean, of course, the 4236, that does put us right in that range between the 4618 and the 4236, which is still my range targets anyways. But it still gives us that nice price appreciation. Even in terms of 84 cents, you're looking at, an upside of about 684%. I still think that this has a lot more left in store for it. And even ZIL, ZIL's, 4236 level would take us still pretty high. I mean, ultimately, I still think it is in that dollar range. We could really kind of adjust this real quick. So yes, exact, almost like a dollar, exact almost. So this is about an upside of 396%, $14.1 billion market cap. Like I said, money will flow greatly throughout this market into a lot of these assets. Casper definitely being one of them. But I'm really watching, even higher targets. Like I'm really kind of looking at, even higher targets for Casper at around this like $4 to $7 range, if we can go that high in terms of FOMO and demand, because you got to remember, it's all demand for these networks. That's the thing that really kind of pushes price, is just demand of these assets specifically. ZIL is in an anticipation for tomorrow in terms of the Metropolis launch. I'm really watching ZIL as well, because I do believe that we are going to break out of this all-time high and target some of these higher figures at around like 40 to 60 some cents and even higher. So again, when we are talking about this market, I am watching the altcoin market closely. I think that when we are talking about altcoins and we're talking about, things rapidly shifting in this market, we are really kind of watching that Bitcoin season, that last, fifth wave on Bitcoin, which will ultimately lead us to alt season. And a lot of these altcoins are launching and doing incredibly well for themselves, new, sort of use cases that are going to be massive value shockers for a lot of these little gems. That Casper definitely is one, at such a small figure market cap compared to most. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.